There we go. Do-do-do-do-do.
Hello. Good morning.
Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca. Yes.
I'm like, the camera's a little uneven. Hi. Yes. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in sunny once again and bright and warming up to maybe 60 or so Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there.
Mm-hmm. It was in the 20s when I got in my car.
Yeah, it was.
It's 31 right now. Woo! So, are you sewing ends in?
I am, because I'm going to wear this today. Just in case it's cold.
So we're filming briefly on a Wednesday, and I might just save this and publish it on Thursday just to keep everything regular, because Liz won't be here tomorrow.
I won't be here tomorrow.
And we just wanted to not leave you bereft for a whole week, because I didn't figure we'd film once you got back.
Yeah, I'm going to look like a chipmunk.
So we're filming early to remind you of a couple of things. And I'm going to update you on, my finish or frogget February progress. And then we'll be done. So
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I didn't...
Oh, that's a long needle. Look at that.
Yeah, and it's
special
sharp
one.
and pokey.
Yeah, I don't sell sharp and pokey here. So, yeah. What? You were saying something?
I didn't bring in my project
That's okay.
that I was working on because, brain.
Okay, I think I'm feeling a little better, but I don't want to push it. Like, that's the tough thing right now is it's like, I feel better, therefore I can do all the things, and that might be bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel a little better, so I'm trying to still take it easy, which is really, really hard. Really hard. Okay, so, the things, let's get the business out of the way first. The things to remind you of. This Saturday, we are celebrating, sometime this week, we're not divulging details, is Hannah, our minion number 2. And some people are like, you should introduce her on camera. I'm not sure if she's comfortable with that yet. So, but it's her birthday this week. So we are celebrating by giving her birthday discount to everybody on Saturday. And the code is going to be Minion2B Day. Like Minion. I can't spell out loud well. Minion.
Yep. The number 2.
The number 2. BDAY. Only works on Saturday. If you want something that's not in the online shop, but we have, then contact us. Call us during business hours, 10 to 5 Eastern time. Because I'm not feeling well enough yet totally to put stuff online. Like maybe next week I'll try that. I don't know. We also had people last night who were going at the very end of knit night. So what are we doing for like the make-alongs? And it's like I'm still trying to get brain power for that. So sale on Saturday, and then the monthly virtual sit and stitch is this Sunday. And again, those dates: Saturday, just no show notes and brain fog. Saturday is February 10th, and Sunday is February 11th. Are the dates we're talking about? In case you watch this some other time, 2024. So this Sunday, February 11th, is our monthly virtual sit and stitch, and we are still trying to not overdo it, so it will be from 2 to 4 Eastern U.S. time instead of the longer 4-hour period we usually do. And what?
Yeah, that sounds good. Because I will be recovering still. So.
And the Sunday sit and stitch that we do is on Zoom with the shop phone number
828-877-3550.
And it's also on Facebook Live. The weekly ones we do are not on Facebook Live, but the Sunday ones are. So if you want to dip your toe in the water or just see what's going on, get to see me and hear Zoom. And if you want to join us on Zoom, I think it's a very welcoming environment, but you can do what you want. So, the things to update you on with Finish or Frogget February, and to review, this is our second annual Finish or Frogget February. It does not mean you have to finish all your works in progress, but it is a way to assess your works in progress. I actually haven't done an official count of how many works in progress I have going, but I think the last time I counted the table, and not everything made it on the table for the Sunday sit and stitch, I had somewhere in the vicinity of 30. Like last year, Finish or Frog It February, I went from 60 projects down to 30 because I either frogged or bound off or finished half my projects, which is really awesome. I could have more than 30. There's things that don't make it on the table. There's things that they've just been languishing. So, I finished one thing. I'm trying to stay on task here. I have finished one whole project. Woohoo! I forgot. Okay. Squirrel. I did see a white squirrel on the way to work today, actually. Ran right in front. It kind of, like, the image I have of it is it, like, midair being like, whee, as it ran in front of my car. I stomped on the brakes. It made it across. In Brevard, that's a good omen, I think. Because our white squirrels, you don't want to hurt the white squirrels. So he survived, and my coffee just went tumbling, and my sodas, and, it's okay. So...
It's been a day.
It's
only 9:30.
It's only 9:30. Okay, so I put my things in 4 categories, and I encourage you to put them in at least 3 of these. I actually try to finish things in February that are maybe smaller or close to being done and just sitting there. So actually finishing. The second category, because some of us who are not monogamous knitters have way too many things on needles to finish. And since I'm still recovering from COVID, I'm trying not to stress myself out by like marathon knitting sessions that I might have tried last year. It's a pledge to finish. It's looking at it and going, yes, this is something I love and I want to finish. And so I'm going to finish it sometime in the future. And then the ones that don't fit into those 2 categories, I as a shop owner have 2 options. And you can engage in both of these or only one. One is to frog it, which rip it out. Sounds like ribbit. So the joke is we call it frogging. So it's absolutely tearing out. And either repurposing the yarn or not, and usually when I choose to frog something, it's either I didn't like the pattern or I didn't like the yarn with the pattern. Like I might like one of those 2 things, but like I might like the pattern, but the yarn's not doing it for me in the pattern. So I have to pick something else to do that. Or, I like the yarn. Wait, I'm losing track. Yeah, I like the pattern and not the yarn with it. Or I like the yarn, but not the pattern. So I need to like reclaim the yarn for another pattern. Or it could be I like the pattern, but not the yarn with it. But I like the yarn, and so or it could be I like neither. The 4th option for me as a shop owner is I could choose to bind off right where it is, not frog it, preserve it as a swatch, as something like as a piece of the pattern or an element of how the yarn knits up, because we could still use it functionally in the shop.
Yeah.
And you at home could decide, I don't want to rip it out. I want to preserve the work that I've done, but I know I'm not going to finish it. So bind it off where it is and
for,
do what you want with it.
For new or even some experienced knitters that you want to like have the story of where your knitting's going.
Yeah.
You could preserve it and say, hey, this is where I was on this day. Mm-hmm. If it's big enough, you could put a backing on it and make a pillow, or you could turn it into something else.
It's a wall hanging. It's something. You can do something with it. So let's look at what I've done so far. I have finished 1 project. I did not bring in the things I pledged to finish because that's too much to bring in. At the end of the month, I'm thinking I could say, these are all the things I haven't finished, but I'm going to. Like, so towards the end of the month or maybe the beginning of March, I might bring all those in to like, be like, these are the things I didn't finish, but I'm going to. Remember all these? If you're on social media, some of these I am showing in morning meditation. But to get back on task. This is sock head hat that I started last month. So I would have hats for my super short hair. And let's mess up my super short hair. I know, woo, that's really long, right? But the whole thing of the sock head hat, and I still have a good chunk of this skein left, is it's slouchy. And so the way you make something slouchy, if it's not a super stiff fabric, is you just make it taller. So here is my sock head hat. I have not woven the ends in. I do not count that as finishing. I count the being done.
I don't want to be responsible for finishing a project.
So this is my sock head hat. It's all slouchy. If I wanted to fold the brim up, I could make it a little less slouchy. But that is one finish. Go me. And I have, this was this morning's morning meditation. I plan to finish this hat. So smaller projects are easier to finish during the month. This is my Washington hat. I'm showing off, I'm experimenting with the new Heritage 6 yarn we have, which is not online yet. But I'm loving the patterning in this, and I'll put it on my head in a second. I made the float super loosey-goosey, thinking that when I put it on my head, it'll tighten everything, and it might still be too big on my head for when it's on my head to tighten everything. But the Washington hat, even though this looks like Mount Rainier and not necessarily our mountains here in, the rolling hills of western North Carolina, kind of, it still has deer and trees and mountains. And I'm like, that works for where we live. And then someone made a version of it with a Sasquatch. So here's my Sasquatch, because you get to do the pattern twice. And I'm keeping my gauge. I didn't test my gauge. I just dove into the pattern, and I'm keeping my gauge super. I see that. What?
We test our gauge more for sweaters,
yes,
than for hats. And
it can impact hats.
It can impact hats.
But we tend to be like,
it's a hat.
And then when someone comes in and says, why doesn't my hat fit? We said, do you test your gauge? Even though we don't. And they say, no, I didn't, but why doesn't my hat fit? And I'm like, well. So I dove into this knowing it might not come out the right size. And there were issues with the pattern, in my opinion, of the bottom and how to understand what was going on. So I made it work. And the bottom isn't the issue. It's the whole thing's a little loose, but it's still, it's gonna be a loose hat, but it's still gonna have, like, look, there's my squatch right there. Ha ha, my Sasquatch.
I love it. It is so cute.
So it fits on my head, even though it's not done, because it's a little big.
Well, and it's gonna be a slightly slouchy hat anyway, so it'll be
big hair. Yes.
It'll be adorable.
Well, and I'm almost done. I have 6 more rows of color work to go to finish off these trees.
6 more weeks of winter? What? I heard 6 more rows, and my brain went 6 more weeks of winter.
And then the decreases. So I think if I have time today, or even if I don't, like tonight, I could probably finish this. That would be my second complete finish of Finisher Frog at February. Maybe this next week I will show this off some more. I started a new project the last day of January, because of course I did. I started some during February too, but shh. So I'm using the Rika to make a vest, and I can't remember if I have the pattern, but I will keep you all updated. It should take just over one of these like monster balls to make my vest, which is great. And I love the colors on that. And I have frogged 2 things. And once I started frogging them on camera, Carol finished frogging them for me. So totally ripped out. This is all I have left are the balls. And one was my glimmer poncho with Getafer metal tweed. And I was way over halfway done. I was probably 2/3 of the way done with this, but this yarn is no longer available. It is beautiful yarn, but it is no longer being made. So it wasn't even worth binding off for a shop sample, because we can't get more of it. So it makes people unhappy and sad when they're like, I want that. And I say, it's not available. So
look for what we have left during the yarn crawl in the Surprise Me Sale Bin support box.
Woo! So that, and then the other thing I frogged, I have several more things waiting in the wings, but I want to film at least a couple minutes of them all before they're fully frogged. But by the end of the month, I may have run out of days to show off and finish and other things like that. Good catch. This was a lace work, and by lace work, I don't mean lace weight. This is Cascade 220, worsted weight, 100% wool. Cascade released a wrap pattern like 2 or 3 years ago for the local yarn store day. I want to say it was 2022. Mm-hmm. And it had lace, it had holes in a geometric design that made it look like cables. And it was cute, but not a lot of people wanted the pattern necessarily. And I was gonna, like, this made it through last year's Finisher Frog at February. Because Robin, shout out to Robin, said, you don't have anything in this beautiful color in the shop. And I'm with her on that, but the pattern wasn't bringing me joy. No disrespect to Cascade on that. Just it wasn't bringing me joy, and people weren't necessarily jonesing for the pattern, even though it was free. So I think I do want to use this. I do want a shop sample, but the only way I'm going to finish a shop sample is if I'm doing something I enjoy. So, I picked out a new pattern for it. I have not started it yet, but it is the Cloudberry Wrap by Lisa Hahn. And it will still be rectangular, but a little bit, I was showing people on Knit Night. Where is the little schematic? There it is. It's going to have a shape where it has a little bit of a thickness in the middle. I think that will be really pretty. And I have 3 balls of this yarn.
I was thinking about that. I think that the whole thing is rectangular, but the ribbing pulls the sides in. Like, I don't think you're increasing.
Technically, I am.
Oh, you are?
No.
Oh, okay.
I am.
Oh, okay.
I am. It does. The ribbing will keep it, but it literally does have...
Increases?
Yes.
Okay.
It increases along the edges until the desired width, and then it's a center, and then yes, you do. There is that.
Yeah.
But this does. It has a ribbing section. It has an increase section, a straight section, a decrease section. It actually does have, like, it's meant to have a curvy part in it.
Cool.
But yes, it would be cool if that, like, if you don't want to increase as much, you don't have to.
My brain was.
No, but your brain
like,
was
trying to figure it out
intuitively
at the pattern.
Yes, but it actually is designed, and that's so if you want to wrap it around the back, there's a little more coverage. You know, I think this is going to be really cute. And even though this is a darker yarn, it's a vibrant yarn. It's not a super dark. Like sometimes going too dark with cables, you don't see them. This will be my experiment.
It's almost like the Perky. The Lorna's Laces purple, where it was a dark color, but it almost had a neon vibe to it. And
I was like, what's Perky? What are we talking about? So I have 2 frogs. I have other things on my list. It's only day 7. I have a lot more pledges to finish, but I'm trying to update in the newsletter. If I have time and energy, I'll update on the website too, or here. It's trying to do it all is still a lot. So, but I think that was all that I really wanted to share with you to keep you up to date. So, we have a sale on Saturday, Minion 2 B-Day. The 2 is the number 2. No spaces. We're not back to product of the week type stuff yet. That's going to take a while. We have our sit and stitch on Sunday. And this is February 10th and then February 11th for the Saturday and Sunday. And then right now we are doing our virtual sit and stitch is only 1 hour. So both keep that in mind when you're attending and keep it in mind when we're sharing and talking. There's only an hour. So Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And anytime we're on Zoom, you can use the shop phone number as a code. Don't call it, but use it as a code when there's a meeting, like when you enter the meeting code on Zoom, and that is
828-877-3550.
I said that in a weird way, so thank you.
It's okay. I'm getting better. I mean, it's only taken me 5 years, but I'm getting better.
And COVID just threw a curveball and all of that. So, but yes, we want to keep you all up to date, and we will see you next Thursday here. We're only doing 1 day a week. Thank you for your patience. And it's always good to connect with y'all. And last night we had like almost 20 people.
And we had a bunch of new people.
We had some new people, and not everyone got a chance to introduce, but we recognized everyone was there. It was like, yay! So come and just, you don't have to be put on the spot. You can just come and say, what is this all about? And like listen and join in if you want. So it's whatever people's comfort level is. It's always fun. So we will talk to you all soon and see you maybe on Zoom and see you here next week. Bye. Bye.